Top deck.
Check this game out. On the left, you got Davies. He's going to play a Paradox Engine deck.
Yeah, we're getting spicy.
And on the right, Terrance Bridgett. White-red aggro. Keeps it the same, man.
Time to get funky. This white-red aggro deck is...
Aggro?
Aggro.
Um,
Pretty strong one.
Are we talking... Does it have vehicles in it, or is that a different deck?
That's a different deck.
Okay,
There's Mardu vehicles, and there's white-red humans aggro. This might have vehicles. I haven't seen Terrance's list, but like the white-red list that's being played right now is human.
More human than human?
No, it's exactly as human as human.
Hello, my name is Human.
No, hello, my name is Metallic Mimic.
Oh, that card is not a human, but I'll tell you what, it really ties the room together.
It is a human, actually.
You can make it a human,
Yeah.
but it's not inherently a human.
Well, you are the product of your environment.
Okay, I'll get behind you're the product of your environment. Happens. All right.
6. Alright. I'll go first.
All right, so Paradox Engine's on the play here. It's going to be sweet, man. I saw this card, and I mean, it's got the word engine in it. Wizards has been less cute about hiding their engine cards.
Yeah, they just start calling them engine.
Right. And this card is definitely an engine. The type of paradox, though, I'm not sure what type of paradox it's involving.
The Infinity Paradox.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you seen the art?
Do what?
No, I have not examined it. I have not pulled it up. Can we pull up while we're shuffling the Paradox Engine art in the biggest form possible?
I don't actually know what the vehicles are. It didn't change much, did it? It had some different pieces.
Eventually, we're going to get this up.
Eventually.
There we go. All right, so it's like a perpetual motion machine. One of the classic designs of a perpetual motion machine.
Sure. I've not really studied classic perpetual motion designs, but...
So like the ball in there is pulled down by gravity, and then the kinetic force of it going down rotates the wheel and pulls the other ones up.
Oh, sure.
It's perpetual motion in a zero air resistance, zero friction world, which doesn't exist, but
Right.
that's the paradox.
All right, so we definitely have
Some aggressive starts. Oh,
now
bestiary.
this
That's
is a cool card.
spicy.
So this card lets you scry every turn, and when you play a creature, you can add a green, or you can pay an additional green.
You can pay an additional green and draw a card. Commonly referred to now as the Pokedex.
Yes, I've been told it looks like a Pokedex. This is another thing that I'm not deep enough on to confirm or deny.
Let's pull up the Pokedex, Jake.
You, oh man.
Getting there for 5, man. Just
Turn 3,
quartering
5
your life.
damage. What's next? Here's the scry at the beginning at the upkeep.
there it is.
All right,
Supposedly this is a
Crafters.
Pokedex.
bestiary.
It's kind of Pokedex-ish. Inspiration is found by looking outward.
Outward. At least for her. I think everybody's inspirations are different.
Okay, that's fair.
So we have a 3/3 haster here.
Swinging in for 5.
Not a card I ever thought I would see in standard, but here we are.
So the ability to give creatures haste when you're drawing through your deck with Paradox Engine is a big deal.
Okay.
I'd imagine Derek is missing some like mana dorks from
Servant
his
of the
curve.
Conduit?
Yeah, Servant of the Conduit. Probably not a great one because it requires energy to go off.
I got the name wrong on this one. Rakshmi? The green guy that gives other creatures' counters and makes them able to make mana.
Okay.
You know exactly what card I'm talking about.
I do.
You're
But
just
when you
giving
said
me a hard-
Rakshmi, which is the bastardization of Rashmi and whatever
Okay.
this card's actual name is, it completely blanked. Rishkar, there we go.
Rishkar. They give them these names.
They got R's, they got K's. What's even going on?
See, this
A's?
this is a card
I's,
you can get into.
H's. An S?
Are you done?
No, there's still an S there.
Concur.
All right. So we've added the Paradox engine to the board.
All right, and ship the turn. Now, I don't think. I wonder if there's going to be a whole other turn.
If there's another turn, this is what Derek Davies wants, to untap with his Paradox engine.
So 5. Shock you.
And there you go.
All right.
Doesn't get untapped, but that's the way this deck plays out sometimes.
So, we got Bridgett, little Ms. build here. He's playing.
Not do Heart of Kiron on Tuesday.
Looks like a little bit more of a Rakdos. Or, I'm sorry.
Mardu
a
Vehicles?
Mardu Vehicles.
Yeah. I blame Jake.
It's all right. Jake went out, spotted for
Yeah,
him.
no, he put in hard work, and, he still failed, but that's cool.
But you saw the power of shock there. He was able to just. He only needed 3 attacks with the heart, because Derek was dealing some damage to. Or 3 attacks with the heart, 3 damage with the unlicensed disintegration,
Yeah, completely unlicensed, by the way.
and then the shock finished it off.
True.
So those 2 cards. I love it when things end up even. We had this theory when I was learning to play Magic that if you were at 1 or you left your opponent at 1, you missed it somewhere.
Sure, which isn't always true, but
Not always true, but
it's a great, thought process.
yeah, it was a good way for us to think about the game as we were learning. To
Right.
try and eke out every inch. Because it is a game of inches. So here, I think Terrance is going to bring in whatever kind of artifact removal he has. And perhaps some Harness Lightnings.
So normally these decks have Fragmentize, which isn't going to do a whole lot here.
Right, is the Paradox Engine costs 5, and Fragmentize can only kill things up to 4 converted mana cost.
We could play a Decommission, but I don't know if that's on Terrance's radar here.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a card you even want in your sideboard.
I like it. I'm a big fan, as a one of.
The singular decommission, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's where I want to be.
And this Paradox Engine deck, I imagine you have a couple Radiant Flames
Oh, yeah.
as you're playing multiple colors.
Yeah, Radiant Flames could be a heater. You're playing a lot of little mana dorks, though, so maybe not.
Harness Lightning, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe you want, you're just trying to buy some time, so maybe your interaction is a little more targeted.
Right.
Like Harness Lightning would be a good one.
Yeah, because that can leave you with energy left over. Now, I don't know if that matters, but I'm assuming if you're giving guys haste with that dude and making mana with Servant of the Conduit, that those little bits of energy can add up.
Yeah, so I think he's probably playing the Cowl guy, whatever that is, Druid of the Cowl.
Oh, sure, the 1/3.
Yeah, the 1/3, and then Cryptolithrite.
Wow.
And that's why it's important to have energy and that guy that gives creatures haste.
Okay. All right. Derek's up first. Yeah, it looks like Terrance is on another mulligan. But talk about a deck that can withstand a mulligan. I think this deck definitely can do it.
Give me 2 lands, a Toolcraft Exemplar, and a Heart of Kiran, and I'm good to go.
Oh yeah. Go the distance.
I think Derek is kept. I don't know what's in his hand, but this is a deck that you should mulligan pretty aggressively with, so he's got to be really happy with his hand.
I think it's a deck you should mulligan pretty aggressively against.
True. Yeah, you want some form of interaction.
Right.
So I see a Glitness crane, which is great for digging for that Paradox engine.
Right.
Um,
Also, at the very minimum, it's a speed bump.
Absolutely. I also saw a Servant of the Conduit, which was the mana dork he was missing last time.
All right. I think I see a Pianolar.
Pianolar Scry at the bottom. All right. Let's see what we got here. The old Lango.
All right. Terrance looks like he has a Spire of Industry.
It's a solid one. I think that card has nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it at now? Like a buck?
4?
Oh,
a buck? Come
and
on.
Up from there?
Yeah.
Aggressive.
I think there's a time when that will be like the premier mana fixing, and many decks will run 4 of.
Noted. I'll just pick mine up in draft.
There you go.
I don't think it's the kind of card I want to like go out and spend some money on. Yep. So here's what Derek should do here. He should really be trying to win this game as fast as possible.
Derek?
Correct.
I
Here's
think
why.
Derek's fine dragging out, but go ahead.
When you're up against a Mardu vehicles deck like this, and you have the advantage of he's stuck on lands.
Oh, sure, yeah. If he's
It's-
stuck on lands.
As soon as he has lands, he's got every card you can, like, whatever the worst card in his deck for you is, you have to just assume it's in his hand. Because he is not drawing anything else.
Right. I mean, except maybe the second worst card in his deck for you.
Right. So you want to cut down his draw steps and just I don't know exactly what the end game is here for Derek, but we're gonna see it this game for sure.
Play an Ornithopter and pay a green. Go draw a card.
Takes a life on the Ornithopter play here to draw a card.
19 draw. Probably swing for 3 here. Oh,
Just
keep it
2.
back. So now he's in this position where if he needs a Paradox Engine or if he needs something else.
All right, here we go.
Uh-oh. He can cast a red spell.
Game 1, we got a shock available. I would definitely shock down this Servant of the Conduit.
I'm not as
before
high
Derek's
on that
turn.
right now. Like, he's got 4 mana. Like, yeah, he wants to get to 5, but you're not pressuring him enough to make sure that doesn't happen. I think you want something that's going to put some pressure on. Maybe even an artifact to turn on the Spire of Industry. Looks like Terrance is following your line.
Yeah, so that kind of card is important with the Paradox Engine because it makes mana and untaps itself. So now he has to do 2 things. He has to get the Paradox Engine in play, and he has to produce, like, get his creatures to make mana for him.
Correct. I mean, so with the Paradox Engine, the Servant only produces 3 now, plus whatever energy you can get off of guys. So I don't think it's that impressive, but
I mean, I'm not.
yeah,
like,
I
I'm
definitely agree that he's got to have 2 parts of this combo now.
Not, right. That's my point.
Point taken.
It's not like he. Like the Servant's the best part of the combo,
Right.
but it's certainly part of the combo. The other thing is that Derek can literally draw as many cards as he feels like.
Oh, man. I think I see what Derek's trying to put together here.
Okay, enlighten me.
So, with Servant of the Conduit out, you add a mana,
Okay.
pay, or add a green, play your Greenbelt Rampager.
Oh, sure. And you get to generate an infinite because he.
But you have to drain this energy first. It won't work if you have
Right.
5.
Yeah, you definitely have to drain the swamp.
That's important. And that's where a card like Harness Lightning would come into play.
Yeah, you could just fire it at anything and
Yeah, just
pay $1 billion. Pay all my energy, or all but one, or whatever. And so, if you have 2 Servant of the Conduits in this Greenbelt Rampager, you can make an infinite amount of. You can draw all your deck, right? With the.
well, no, because you run out of energy that way.
Okay.
I think that's just. It
So that
basically
just gives
means.
you an infinite amount of storm.
Well, no, because you can. It makes it so you can pay 1 and draw a card. For X,
No,
where
I'm
X is the number
talking
of green.
Talking about Paradox Engine,
Green belt.
Greenbelt, and Servant of the Conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 cards just generate an infinite amount of storm.
Right, but he's also got this Bestiary on play, so every green he has, he can draw a card while doing this.
Okay, but
And
he's
then-
not generating additional green.
Correct. He needs to draw into like a Cryptolith, right? Is what he's going for.
Oh, sure. But he gets 3 draw steps, 4 now with the amount of green. I guess you can use the Aether Hub to spend energy.
And you need to. Like, you need to get rid of
Right.
a lot of this energy.
Okay. He's working on getting this green out of the way here.
Cryptolith, right there we have it.
Alright, so now he's got to empty.
So he doesn't even need to empty his hand anymore. Or the
Yeah, he does.
energy.
Because he still needs to draw all the cards.
Well, he's got this Duskwatch Recruiter.
Well, I don't. What do I mean? Oh, because for every 3 spends, he gets a creature off the Duskwatch Recruiter.
Right.
Okay.
How does that stack? Does it matter?
It does matter.
So the question here is, how does Glintnest Cranes comes into playability stack with the Life
Judge!
Crafter's Bestiary or whatever it is?
And the answer is whenever you have 2 triggers generated by the same event, you get to select the order in which those triggers go in the stack.
Correct. Is it you get to choose or the active player gets to choose?
You get to choose.
Okay.
So if I'm casting
And then if both players generate triggers on the same event, they go on in the order of active player, non-active player. So the non-active player's triggers will then resolve first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
this
So,
happens first, right?
oh yeah, you have your cast triggers to attend to first.
Okay.
So you can order your cast triggers in whatever manner you want.
So Bestiary might
Okay.
actually be a cast trigger.
Okay,
is
so it
from what I hear
sounds
from
like
Scott.
so what we're hearing from the judge here is that the Bestiary is a cast trigger, and the Glintnest Crane is a enters the battlefield trigger. So it's worth noting those are 2 separate events.
Yes.
When you cast a spell versus when that spell resolves. And he can just go nuts here, right?
Yeah.
With the energy. Tap these dudes to add 3 more green. So I think I've used 2, right? I've got 3 here. Use
Alright, this is getting very confusing for me.
What's confusing?
Just where Derek went from 4 to 2 energy.
Well, he used 1 the previous round and didn't remove it.
Okay.
use a green with energy.
Okay, so now he gets to make an indiscriminately large amount of mana as well.
Cast the Rampager. Trigger, pay for it. And then draw a card. This gets bounced to my hand.
Uh-huh.
I get an energy. And tap my Davies.
Alright, so at this point,
Use a green.
I would stipulate that he draws his deck, and if I were Terrance, I would say if I can look at your deck, and you can show me how you're gonna kill me, like
bunch of creatures out, then you walk in Ballista, and you make it really huge, and then. Or I have a dude that mills. Okay, yeah, let's just go. I can show you.
All right.
All right, so Derek pointed out that his win conditions are
Walking Ballista.
Walking Ballista. So if he would cast Walking Ballista where X is 15, he could just kill Terrance with that.
We learning.
And apparently there's a guy that mills.
The energy guy that taps to mill.
Oh, is that a real thing?
I guess.
All right. Because the combo does produce an infinite amount of energy.
Yeah. If you want it to.
If you want it to. If you don't want it to, it doesn't do that.
Correct.
I think I inevitably have stuff to do. Because I think you're going to win.
So this is
Here, I'm on 2 and have better motor.
real interesting. A lot of parts, but a lot of them like do things on their own. The only card that doesn't really do anything on its own is Paradox Engine.
Right.
And even that kind of does. Like, gives your guys pseudo-vigilance.
I was just going to play this day just to
Yeah. I like the Greenbelt Rampager as a card.
Oh, yeah?
I think that card's cool.
It's a sweet card.
I did some thought experiments with it in the energy deck.
Okay. Where did your thought experiments lead you? Enlightenment?
You can still just like.
Yeah, a higher plane of thinking.
Okay. It's a good place to be.
Oh, it was wonderful.
And you have the elephant to thank for it.
Yes, it was
See, I like turn 1 Ornithopter.
enlightening.
Good.
Anyway, I don't know that the card fits in there 100%. You have to trim other things for it. Like it makes you want to trim Long Tusk Cub.
Yeah, that card's way outlived its usefulness.
Sure.
I don't think it's a good one anymore.
I really like the Cub, though, in my...
I have a fondness for the Cub, but the old dies to shock thing, and it doesn't do anything on enters the battlefield, that's pretty rough.
Yeah. Whereas the Rampager,
Yeah, like go to combat, get the.
it doesn't even die to a lone harness lightning.
No, it does not.
I sack my Let's see if
Um, So yeah, I think it fills in that spot. It opens up your turn 1. You get a lot more turn 1 plays.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
It used to just be Tune with Aether. I still think that's the better turn 1 play if you open up a hand with both of them.
It depends on how many lands are in your hand. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
sure.
good with lands for the first 3 turns, then you don't really need to.
You'd rather just generate the energy.
Yeah. Nah, that's false. You would play these using Aether still.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't gonna fight you over it. So here's a Lone Dryad.
Lone
Haven't-
Dryad's a
haven't
spicy
seen-
one. That
haven't
takes me
seen
way
this
back.
card since the original Cryptolith Rites decks. Back from that Pro Tour.
And here we go with the Mana Dorks.
So you could cast an additional 1 creature here if you wanted to.
Generate that mana, yeah. Whew.
Another Lone Dryad. Yeah, this
So many Dryads.
board is filling up. Looks like Terrance has your favorite one there in hand.
Only the best.
Simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Oh, man.
You get a clue here. Talk about a board that's filling up. Terrance is definitely gaining some position.
Absolutely.
I don't have any.
Derek needs to go off, like, yesterday.
Well, it looks like he might generate 5 mana here. 4.
I don't know how he's going to get to 5.
I see 4 on board.
Okay.
And there's the 5th one.
Did it.
When I said 5, I was assuming he had a land in hand.
Okay.
But, assumptions, etc.
Sure. So, I think Derek's hand is Glint Nest Crane. Ballista for 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, I can get down on a Ballista for 2. It generates an interesting situation here. He gets to block with it and then shoot down a different creature.
Yeah. It's a great position to be in here with 3 attacking creatures. I might just block this Thraben Inspector if he wants to get funky with all 3.
Oh yeah, just put the servant in front of the Thraben Inspector.
Yeah.
I hope Terrance has a is an unlicensed disintegration.
Oh, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you got to fire it at this servant, but
Absolutely.
it's still pretty good.
Just confirming.
So swing all in's not a good attack.
No?
Yeah, no, swing all in's not good. Swinging in with the 2 scroungers is probably your best attack here.
Right.
And I don't know that Derek doesn't just go to 11. So I'm not sure what's in his hand.
All right, Terrance has found the attack.
Kill 1, fog you. Pretty solid blocks there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the downside of swinging in with those 2. It's not terrible because you need to get rid of it eventually anyway. And especially if you're going to play a 3-1 next, then that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Derek could untap, land, second walking ballista, and it would be the biggest blowout here.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Dashwatch Recruiter's not bad.
Dustwatch Recruiter's not the worst thing ever. I like casting both his creatures here.
I think you can cast all 3 spells if you really want to get funky.
Yeah, can I cast? I'm interested in casting maybe the Bestiary, and then drawing a card off the Crane.
Yeah, I can get down
Because the Crane is gonna block and trade with the Veteran. Here's 2.
Yeah, I like Crane here.
Here's the Crane trigger.
Trigger this draw card.
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to be drawing. You don't want to be blocking with any of your mana generating creatures.
Right. And blocking with his Gluttonous Crane is perfectly fine. Takes the engine.
All right. So we're one card away. I don't know if he has the.
No, he's in great shape here.
I don't know if he has the Rampager in his hand. If he has the Rampager in his hand, he.
My mic is apparently not working. Can you hear me in your headphones?
I can hear you in my headphones. I'm gonna keep talking about it because I'm stoked about it.
Okay.
And if it's going out there by any chance, I want everybody to hear my thoughts.
There you
My
go.
thoughts are the most important thoughts. All right, here's a shock on the.
That's a big shock.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that that was the target. I do.
Heart of Kieran.
All right, now this makes the heart coming into play makes me want to hold back the Veteran, but I do want to attack with the Thraben Inspector and the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
If I'm Derek, I'm taking 4 all day. Well, I can take 3, I guess. Just block the Thraben Inspector. You need the bodies to turn on the Loam Dryads now.
Right. Now, I don't know the exact wording on Greenbelt Rampager, but does it come into play?
So if this is the land, this is great position. It doesn't look like he got the land. So what he wants to do is get the Paradox Engine out and then cast any spell. But right now he doesn't have that ability. He has to do it the other way around. Well, if he has the Greenbelt Rampager, I think he still can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can still do it.
I want to cast Dustwatch Recruiter, and then tap all my guys to cast Glintness Crane to pay green. Alright, he's going to do it the other way.
So what I want to do is tap Loam Dryad and Glitness Crane to play, and my 4 mana to play Paradox Engine, and then nope, we're mana short that way.
Huh.
I was gonna say if he had that Loam Dryad in hand, he could do it, but
So I'm
just
wondering,
drew it.
Yeah, see, the balance Derek has to strike here is between blocking and
Being
having
able to go
enough
off.
guys out to go off with.
Yeah, he really wanted to draw a land there at all. Is that an Ornithopter in hand?
Yes.
If he had that Ornithopter last turn, he could have gone off. Well, this turn before he committed this Glintness Crane to the board.
Alright. Let's see. See, I think Ornithopter, he's going to keep it in hand because what it does is it generates a trigger for him to untap all his guys
Right.
for 0 mana. It's pretty critical that way. So I'm suiting up. I'm crewing the Heart of Kieran with the Veteran Motorist, and I'm attacking, man.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
especially
Now
now.
both these motorists get to get it, or one of the motorists gets to attack, the other one gets to crew. That's the best. I'm actually I'm alright with trading off a motorist with the Glintness Crane because I get to upgrade it into a Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, I'd probably just chump the heart here and take 7. I guess you can block the Thraben Inspector too.
So the question is, how
Oh, you
much...
can double block the Thraben Inspector.
Okay, time out. Let's think about it. You just want to take everything here so that you can go off next turn. It doesn't matter if you soak up a bunch of damage right now because you're dead next turn anyway.
Like you can block the Thraben Inspector.
Yeah. No. Yeah, don't kill the Thraben Inspector because then he gets back the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
I mean, if you're dead anyway, it doesn't really matter, right?
Well, it depends on...
It makes him use his mana.
And it depends on if he can half go off.
Half go off.
No, you know how sometimes you'll combo for a little while and then just nothing happens?
Sure.
So how many creatures can Derek
All right.
get into play? How much
So down to 3.
time does he want to
Let's
spend?
see if we've got it.
Alright, so we definitely have a Paradox Engine plus an untap with the Ornithopter.
He really wants a land here, I feel. I think he's got all the rest of the cards he needs. A Servant would have been nice last turn. He did have the land. Okay, so let's see if Derek can pull this out from 3 life.
Alright, this is the last opportunity he's going to have to do it.
All right, so we start with a land, I'm sure.
Tuesday.
I'm so confused right now. 3-4. Nope. 3-4-5. Alright, here we go.
Paradox Engine.
Alright.
Stack just a happy person on this. Untap these. Tap this to draw card.
Alright. So, Ornithopter's going to draw a card
He
for
drew
him.
the crypto.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Wow. That's huge. So,
Should have added mana in response, but
Shoulda
I
added
think at
mana
this point
there.
it doesn't really matter.
doesn't it?
These can all be tapped for mana already.
He has a ton of mana.
This is gonna be gross. I love this.
So, the Loam Dryads tap another untapped creature.
Well, no, he has cripples,
Oh.
right? So they just tap
Oh,
for
it
1.
doesn't matter. Everybody just taps for mana.
So we've got 5, and now he's got.
Yeah, this is a situation where I don't know.
So he's got the Duskwatch Recruiter in hand.
Okay.
Okay, so now he's got 5. He can, when he runs out of gas, he can scry
Yeah.
to get a creature.
1 to activate.
Oh, right. He can. Right. He activates Dust Watcher Recruiter. Looking at the top 3. When he missed.
He's got the green belt in hand. So, I mean, he has, like, a reset.
Has this.
Okay. We also have another Cryptolith Rites in hand.
Sure, which acts as a.
Add 5 green.
So 5 green back in the pool.
Okay. 3 green in the pool now as he Dust Watch recruits. Here's another green belt Rampager.
So that's good. 2 mana, get a guy, untap all your guys, draw a card.
Yes, so this is what I'm saying. He could still miss.
It's really difficult for him to miss right now.
I concur. But we watched a Dust Watch recruiter miss once.
Guess I have to pay for this. Because I can't bounce it. I'll draw a card. So I don't have any of this, right?
So 5 green. Riskar.
Cast him, put 2 counters.
Yep, draws a card.
Untap dudes. Add 5. Ornithopter. Trigger this. Pay 1, draw a card.
Okay, Ornithopter. So he. Yeah, those can't tap for mana.
Add 5 more. Do a 10.
We're at 10 mana now, so that's at least 3 activations.
So another bestiary goes down to 7. So now every creature he can pay 2 and draw 2 cards.
5 more.
So up to 12.
So that's 4 Dust Watch recruiter activations.
Away the Rampager. Go to 10.
See, I would.
Draw a card.
Terrance is doing the right thing here. I would make him give you, like, generate 40 mana
Yeah.
before I conceded.
Draw a card.
Because I don't know if it's possible for him to generate 40 mana and create a ballista.
I guess I can pay 2 green here. So Rampager with 1.
Whereas Terrance could untap and draw a
Tap dudes.
unlicensed disintegration and win the game.
No, he can definitely generate 40 mana. So, I mean, he can draw, like, are we at the point where you can see that he can draw his deck?
Yes, but I don't know if he can generate 40 mana in the process.
I got total up.
He can generate infinite mana with
About Rampager, draw 2 cards.
the elephant
It has to say.
Okay.
and the energy haste guy. He can give all of his guys haste.
Dust Watch recruiter, so I get it. Use 3. Dust Watch.
Okay.
Dockhand.
Dockhand has been
Oh.
announced.
Prepare to be docked.
You docked at the pre-release.
Yeah, that card was actually sweet at the pre-release.
I wasn't going to argue with you over it, but I didn't want it in your deck.
Oh, that card was sweet.
Listen, it was...
Did that card do work?
It did some work. We were playing 2 at a giant, and that card did some work. You know, in a more competitive room, I would have argued with you.
Yeah, it's on the bottom. Or it's dead though. I only have 1. Pay 2. Draw 2 cards.
Do you think it's...
So go ahead.
Do you think he's trying to use the Dockhand's activated ability at any point? Or do you think it's just there because it's a 1-drop creature? In which case, it should be a Hope of Gurifer.
No, so I think there's some percentage of the time that you use the ability. Like, if you're trying to go off and you have that instead of a Duskwatch Recruiter, like, it's not great, but it serves a similar purpose.
Right. I'm impressed that this deck went off in the face of Mardu vehicles.
3 Dust Watch.
if you would have asked me before the tournament, I would have been like, yeah, this deck's way too slow. But here we are. On his turn 5,
Yep.
just fired it off.
Duskwatch. Get the elephant.
Here's the elephant in the room. You just gotta cast the elephant at this point, right?
He might have a dockhand.
I think he has to cast the elephant because he's never declared making any.
One dry, don't tap dudes, don't draw. Add 5 more.
He's never declared what?
Oh, he never declared that he was making a blue, so he can't play this Glint-ness Crane.
Right. I think he's got a dockhand and
What's going on here?
he's got to dig for this energy producer.
He chose not to draw.
Green belt. Draw 2. Get an energy. Untap dudes.
I think like he could be playing around
Draw 2.
like removal or something and doesn't want to dip below like a certain amount of.
Add 5 again. One of them's blue.
Doesn't want to dip below a certain amount of mana. I'm not sure.
Alright.
Draw 2. Look at the Glint-ness.
There's the guy.
Going on the bottom. Are we looking for heavy ballista here?
Tap my dudes.
Or just give all his guys haste as our plan?
I think give all your guys haste as your plan, but I think you just put it literally on the bottom.
I still need to hate this guy.
Yeah.
Add 10. Are you assuming I have infinite mana if I cast spells? At least 5.
I'm gonna make you do that every single time.
Okay. Alright, so I got
Alright, so
10.
Terrance is on the salt.
He's
of
not on the
making-
salt,
of
like he
making
just
it
doesn't see it. That's fine.
Right.
Cast the Duskwatch. Trigger that twice. Pay 2, draw 2, untap my dudes.
Alright. So now here's the thing, he knows where the card is,
I'll add 4 green, 1 blue.
Yeah.
and so he just needs to count his library and figure out when to activate the Duskwatch Recruiter.
Master of Inquiries.
Yeah.
Trigger these
Master
twice.
of Inquiries. This is the mill guy.
Goodness.
I can still technically.
It-
No, I got Duskwatch. Yeah, I'll just activate Duskwatch. Get document.
Alright, activate Duskwatch again.
Duskwatch.
I think it should be there this time. No. One more time?
Tap 5. Get a red. What's up?
Your hand, right?
Yeah. None of this stuff matters except this crap.
Alright. Oh, he's not even just gonna give all his guys haste and attack with them.
He just has to give the mill guy haste.
Right.
Use this Duskwatch. Go to Duskwatch.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, so now he's got a dockhand to untap.
Right, not drawing any cards.
Untap these, no draw. Add 5 green.
Alright.
Use 1 and 3. And spontaneous artist get an energy. Use the energy to give these 2 haste.
Alright. So now we have a Minister of...
Cast green belt. Trigger the paradoxical or paradox engine.
Alright.
Dudes.
So he gets an energy from the thing, from the elephant.
Okay. And then he uses the energy to mill him for 3.
I'll add 5 more green.
The best here would be if Terrance was holding a
Cast it.
unlicensed disintegration,
Have my dudes
and just trolling all of us.
get an energy, return him. Use the energy to mill you one.
Mill you 3.
Mill me one.
Top 3.
Top 3.
All right.
So that's one there. Use this to add a green. Cast green belt. Untap my dudes. Get an energy. Use a green. Cast green belt. Get an energy.
No, green belt's in play.
Add
No, no,
it's
no,
not.
no,
It's not in play.
no. He made the second.
It's after you make the second energy. The energy triggers after it
yeah, so I'll use this.
returns.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, use one to cast it. Okay. And then one to get it back. Mill you. That's the loop. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so cast it so mill you 3.
Again.
Yeah. And then that uses this.
All right. So what has happened here is that Derek has demonstrated a loop, and so he no longer has to do the dexterity portion of the loop. He can declare, "I've done this.
Dudes get an energy.
I'm gonna execute this X number of times."
Use a green.
That's in the floor rules for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, so he's getting 2 energy before he goes off, which is completely unnecessary. He can just get the 1 and then mill
Is it?
and then cast the guy because you've got the Cryptolithrites.
Use the green.
Do it then. Okay.
Use this to add a green.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna adjourn this.
Times 3? No. I need to smoke square after this bullshit.
All right,
I'm out.
there we go.
I'm out. I had you dead right that next turn too.
So there we go.
Son of a fucker.
So everybody's real happy to have played that match, I guess.
Son of a bitch.
I was happy to see it.
Yeah, no, it was fun to watch.
I hope it never happens again.
It dragged a little bit at the end. So it's a new deck, and, Derek probably doesn't have a lot of experience playing it, but he did go off.
This
Yeah, his turn 5 was amazing.
Yeah.
He went off on that's the earliest possible turn, I think. There's probably an early possible turn, given, X circumstance, but
Right.
murderous instead.
yeah, very cool. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You better be sorry.
I don't know how this just fell off my head.
Yeah, like you were letting it ride your side saddle, so. Anyway, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We'll get another matchup for you.